Hi friends, today we'll be talking about the latest TwitchCast. Most of the TwitchCast was about the letter, but there were some interesting things in it. So let's have a look.
Those heads now, we aren't exactly where we wanted to be.
Right,
as far
that
as
is
hires
true.
Go.
You know, obviously we had some goals with regards to hiring, and we didn't hit those goals for 2018, but we are doubling down on our efforts to recruit. We've brought on some headhunters for specific key positions that are going to assist us in getting the necessary talent to add to our already amazing talented team.
Yeah, we're a very picky studio, so it's not for lack of effort. It's just in terms of who we want to bring in the door. We have a very specific culture, and sometimes it takes a little while to find the people that you're looking for.
And also, you know, one of the key points that we adhere to when bringing aboard, personnel is really, their experience from an MMORPG perspective and their love of MMORPGs or passions for MMORPGs.
New hires.
Sorry.
That's good. When I signed on to TwitchCast today, I saw an ad for Intrepid Studios. I'm glad to see that they're starting to hire.
So, as you guys know, leading into December, we had begun to implement our new website, which moved away from WordPress, which really was not a scalable solution for the amount of traffic we were expecting and do expect moving forward. So we had to release our own custom cloud-hosted website. Unfortunately, some of the systems that we had designed with regards to the back end of that website did not stand up against the test of traffic that we saw in December.
Yep.
We had, as you guys we've said before, we had over 2 million visitors to the website just in the third week of December, and we had to go back and readjust. So we brought on some additional team members. Starting in January, it took some time. I keep looking at the mic. It took some time to catch the new web team up to speed on some of the tasks that they were working on. But I'm happy to announce that we are making very good progress on that. And we did actually just do another migration, I think a couple weeks ago, right?
Yep.
Which solved a lot of the issues. Good props to Craig and Aaron on the team for getting
things
that done.
I think we actually everything came back sooner than we had proposed. I think we were estimating a 6-hour downtime, and it was way less than that. So.
In the director's letter, you'll notice that there's a there's a timeline, not a timeline, excuse me. There is a schedule, a roadmap on the things we're trying to complete further with the website, forums, CS, moving forward, and those things should be shaping up pretty quickly.
And on Toast and I's side, we're trying our best to help people with tickets as well, to get those over to our CSRs. So, you can always message us. We've been really great about trying to talk to people as much as possible. So hopefully if you have an issue, you can come to us and we can resolve it.
Yes. Yeah, part of that whole kind of re-architecting of the website is also getting CS tools and stuff like that up online, so that we can respond to people quicker. We've not been great about that, but we're getting better.
Yeah.
So in my last video, I said people were having trouble with the website, but it turns out the website was having trouble with the people. It was overwhelmed by 2 million people in December. I think that's because I released a video called What's New in the Ashes of Creation Cosmetics store in December, and then all the 2 million viewers went over there and flooded it. Yeah, that's not what happened. I wish I had 2 million viewers.
Standpoint, getting the data back from testing that you guys provided us through, APOC was fundamental in understanding the changes that needed to be made in order to move forward with Alpha 1.
Can you talk a little bit about the specific data that you were looking for and
Absolutely.
the type of data that we utilized and how that helped us?
Absolutely. So basically, when we look at data, we look at how the server performs in handling the number of processes and requests that are coming from players in the game. And there's a server frame rate that we look at basically and have a benchmark for that we want to make sure the server's capable of processing at a certain level of performance that is needed in order to facilitate accurate accounting of damage being done or projectiles being used or whatever.
And to make it not feel laggy too,
exactly.
Right? So that's a really important part
so
of it as well.
So basically addressing that, we implemented what we call a replication graph, which allows us to kind of segment the population in a single area to specific zones, so where the server is not having to replicate all actions of a single player that might be 150, 300 meters away from another player. It's not relevant,
right?
Or behind a mountain or behind a wall or something along those lines. So those are the types of systems that we've been implementing as a result of testing that we saw in December, moving forward in order to facilitate what we need for Alpha 1.
Pretty cool, huh? Not only was the website overwhelmed with too many people, the game was too. That's why they had to push it back, so they could rewrite that algorithm or whatever and fix it.
So the first one is going to be actually our nodes video, and it's going to be showcasing a lot of the behind the scenes core tech that goes into the node system.
Wait, is this going to be nodes?
No, not that one.
Not
But
that nodes video.
I do have something planned for that. You'll be seeing that soon.
Okay.
You know, March being nodes might allude to some other things. But Dev Diaries is a series. It's not only going to cover nodes. We're going to cover all kinds of systems and art. We're going to show the modeling process, the animation process, the concept art process, all of those things, world building, level design. We've already gotten a lot of footage of that stuff. So I'm going to start compiling and making those videos along with Tristan, who is kicking butt. He's working on those. So we'll be releasing those through, we're going to try to release a video every month for you guys in regards to that.
Okay, did you hear that? Nodes. There's going to be a nodes video, a developer diary about nodes. So you're going to see how it's being made, how hard it is to program, and why it's taking so long. And then if you listen carefully, you'll hear Jeffrey say, wait, nodes? And she says, no, not that node video. You'll be seeing that soon. I have something special planned for that. So what could that mean? It's a mystery.
As Sandy said, we know from a previous info that name reservations will happen during Alpha 1. Now we know they will be per server per account. Does this mean we need to pick a server as early as Alpha 1 and stick with it if we want to keep our reserved name? Or can we choose a server after release?
So there will be an opportunity that we will release the initial server names for launch. And upon the release of that information is when we will also implement the ability for our name reservation individuals to reserve names on specific servers. For Alpha 1, that I don't remember we ever said that it was going to be necessary for Alpha 1.
But
I don't know why it would be for Alpha 1 because those are test
that?
servers.
We may have meant like around that time, but yeah, those servers aren't going to be live yet. So
okay. I'd have to revisit that. Let me double check. It's really just going to be around when we release the initial schedule of servers for live launch. At that time, which will be months in advance, you will be able to select a server and reserve a name on that server.
Yeah, and you'll have the opportunity to talk to your guild, kind of organize and all that. So.
And we'll give you advance notice on when the reservation day will be. And give you that opportunity.
Yeah, and I think normally with name reservations in the past that I've done at companies when I've launched games is we usually give like an FAQ and how that process works so people know, and obviously giving people advance notice about it. And usually it happens like months ahead, so you can grab those names. So if you don't grab it in that time frame, that's on you.
Yeah.
What the heck? You guys still don't know how name reservation works? I think I need to make a video on just that subject.
So I'm going to apologize for names, first of all. When I read these names, I might not read them perfectly. Because I feel like this person's name is probably OG Clarence, but maybe it's Og Clarence. I don't know. Why is the currency called Embers? I think that's a cool question.
It is a cool question. It relates to the history.
Yeah, it really comes down to kind of the core concept and idea behind who the goddess of creation is, and how embers and ashes are correlated to the rebirth and death of a phoenix,
right?
So to speak, and utilizing what is present in the energy of that soul that the phoenix represents.
Yeah.
Those ashes, those embers play an important role in establishing that sustenance of their soul.
Yeah, we wanted to really make sure that the whole thing is themed, right? Like our whole presentation of this game feels like it's sort of in lore, and so we tried really hard to kind of keep a lot of that stuff kind of in character, including that currency, just so you're always feeling like you're touching a phoenix at some point or another.
So Vera is the goddess of creation, and she's a phoenix? What kind of phoenix? Like a bird, or like from the X-Men, like Jean Grey from X-Men? What the heck? I hope it's a bird. I hope Vera's a bird. I hope the whole planet is named after a bird.
Our next question is from Silent Ranger 19 asking, how do the guild halls work? Is that a separate freehold you can build and customize, or another system completely?
So the guild hall will be a guild specific. Well, there'll be two types of guild halls. There'll be static guild halls that exist within a node. and then there will be a guild hall that can exist on a freehold. And I believe one of the ideas, and we aren't definitive yet on this, we have a couple of ideas for it, but one of the ideas is that a guild at a certain level will have the ability to receive a guild-specific freehold plot that's separate of the character plot necessarily. The guild will have to progress to that stage, and the guild leader will own the ability to place that freehold, and then you'll be able to build infrastructure that's specifically for the guild that the guild can attain through purchasing by using guild progression points, specific schematics that can build certain halls that benefit the players or can produce, potentially guild armors or guild items that can be used in battles and whatnot, and the guild can level that up. If they don't have the freehold and they have a node static guild hall, then those systems would be available through purchasing and or progressing that guild hall specifically.
Are there specific places that you can only place the guild halls that you attain?
So any freeholds can only ever be placed under the purview of a zone of influence for a node that is stage 3 or higher. Okay. With regards to guild halls, the guild hall plot. It may be that we decide to raise that limit up to maybe a stage 4 or 5 node, but that's something we're going to test in alpha.
Cool.
What?
Yeah, I mean,
you can put guild halls on your freehold? That's interesting. That adds a whole new dimension to the game. I don't know if I would do that, because that's the first place I'm going to attack. If your node comes under attack, I would attack your guild halls. Destroy your farm and your house and your freehold, kill your chickens. That's going to be really interesting how that plays out. There are more questions and answers on the TwitchCast, but the questions weren't that exciting and the answers were kind of long-winded, so I left those parts out. If you'd like to see the entire TwitchCast, you can check it out on the Ashes of Creation YouTube channel. If you like this video, subscribe and give it a like.